Nikki.
Hey, Salina.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Sweet Tea and TV and Extra Sugar.
Sweet tea is what I heard you say.
Sweet tea. This isn't the Rose episode. Is that what that sounds like?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay. So it's
Very
really
Nordic.
Yeah, exactly. And no one's more Nordic than I. We have reached our final extra sugar for the season and our final time with these golden gals. You should, Nikki. I mean, y'all heard last episode. If you tuned in, Nikki's adding on segments left and right. She was just like, all right, what we're going to do.
I'm just eking the last little bit out.
That's right. We have 452 episodes that we haven't watched.
I think this is a great time to rip off the Band-Aid, Salina, that I think we need a catch more episode since we didn't catch them all.
A really Pokemon situation or something. I hear you. Well, so today, and with our last shot at Golden Gals, we're actually at the urging of listener Adam. Thank you, Adam. We decided we could not leave Miami, nay, without a pit stop by the Golden Palace. You know, both the name of the Golden Girls spinoff and the name of the hotel Blanche, Sophia, and Rose by to kick off their series of new adventures together. More specifically, we timed our stop with Dorothy's return. And that, my friends, is what we're chatting about today. For longtime listeners, today and today only. Today.
For a limited time price.
We will return to our previous format, what we did in the olden days. Not the golden days, but the olden days, when we broke down each and every episode of Designing Women one by one. Nikki, with that in mind, do you want to get us started and see what we can remember about what we used to do?
I can, and I think I can because I'm pretty sure you wrote all this for me, so thank you for that. So we have an IMDb summary. This is Seems Like Old Times, Part 1 and 2. The air dates were October 30th and November 6th, 1992. So in Part 1, Dorothy visits her ex-roommates at the Golden Palace, hoping to convince Sophia to come and live with her and her husband in Atlanta. Followed by Part 2, where Sophia runs away to her old rest home. When the other girls try to get her, they find that it is no longer anywhere near as bad as she said it was. We're calling this one Return of the Zbornak. Return of the Zbornak. I lost the tune somewhere there, but you got it. Well, you got the reference, right?
It's hard with the Z, not Z, thrown in there.
And the lack of having any sort of tune in my head.
I would sing the real one, but I don't want to get a copyright challenge.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, I could sing it. It's far enough off. They would never catch me. They could never pin it to me. Anyway, it's a play on the Return of the Mac. This episode was written by Mark Cherry and Jamie Wooten. Actually, that was Part 1. James Vallely wrote Part 2.
I'm glad you had to do that, especially with the director next.
And then I was just looking at that. It was directed by Lex Pasaris. That's probably close enough, right?
Sure.
Thanks, Lex. So we're going to do general reactions, stray observations. Then we'll get into what we liked, what we didn't like, and then we're going to rate this sucker. Okay. So you want to get into some general reactions.
Yeah, I'm going to take like a real wide angle here to start things off because I did notice something at the end of our main episode earlier this week or 5 minutes ago. And
it wouldn't have been 5 minutes ago. 5 hours ago,
depending on where you are in time. But you had mentioned how badly Golden Palace did. I watched like 2 to 3 episodes before I watched this one, just to kind of like get
amalgamate.
Like where am I at in this place? I liked it.
It's not all that bad.
I don't think it's bad at all. I'm surprised it didn't last longer, especially in this TV era. I thought the writing, especially for a spinoff, was quite good, actually. I did notice for this episode specifically, in terms of general reactions, they really rolled out all the hits for Dorothy's return. Now, I only have 2 or 3 other episodes under my belt, so maybe they were just Easter egging it all along the way. But we got the Slutty Blanche insults. We got the Isn't Rose Dumb jokes. We got newspaper smacks included. We got group hugs, physical cheesecake, Sophia's wicker purse, which I noticed in other times we don't see as much because she's busy now. You know, she's running a hotel. She ain't got time to hold her wicker purse anymore. So those are a couple of mine. What do you have?
So mine is sort of philosophical, but I think it goes with what you've got. I have genuinely always wondered why they made this show. I am just so curious at the conversations between producers and the network, where they ultimately decided that taking the Golden Girls, revamping it to take away one character, putting it on a new network.
Oh, is that another network?
Mm-hmm. So Golden Girls was NBC. This is CBS. So they've moved networks, presumably at another time. They've added new characters. And they thought we were going to take all these senior citizens and put them to work in a motel/hotel. And this is going to do well. And I'm just curious because I don't think the show is bad. Let me start there. I really don't.
Right.
I think it's quite enjoyable. I think the other episodes, it's rocky, like any first season of any show. And this is a first season because you've added Don Cheadle and you've added Cheech Marin.
Right.
Cheech Marin is not a sitcom actor. Don Cheadle is new-ish
Is he not?
at this point. No, he was in movies, right?
Well,
Cheech and Chong.
Yes, I was thinking like comedy, and I was like, I was like Cheech and Chong, pretty funny.
I think it's a different timing of comedy.
Totally,
it's a different pacing of production,
era type of viewer.
I get the feeling that his stamina wasn't quite up for this sort of. It just, you can see he just doesn't play right to me sometimes.
Right. I see what
but
you're saying.
I do wonder. I know the other women weren't ready to move on, but we hear so often about reboots that people are begging for. The Gilmore Girls reboot, fans literally begged for almost a decade, and everybody's like, no. Why was this the thing they chose to move forward? Because I'm not sure this is. With all those permutations, I'm not sure that's what I would have chosen to move forward with. What I might have done was keep Golden Girls, stay in the Golden Girls universe, and just explore it with Dorothy gone.
Yeah.
Don't completely rebrand the show. Don't completely introduce a new concept. Don't expect viewers to go from here to over here and follow the show. I just don't know that the math was quite mathing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of just a philosophical, what happened here?
Yeah, I didn't know about the network thing. That's interesting. I mean, they're always looking to squeeze blood out of a turnip. You know what I'm saying? So if they thought there was money to be made, and with the success of Golden Girls, I guess maybe they thought it was worth a shot.
I would have so much trouble being the talent in Hollywood, because you hear so many stories from actors about how producers are like, who was it where just recently this came up with an actor where they flat out told her, you're not attractive enough to be in Hollywood. Winona Ryder, in doing her Stranger Things kind of promo tour, she said an early producer told her, you're just not attractive. You're never going to make it. And so that's why she ended up sort of ending up in the Beetlejuice world and the Edward Scissorhands world, because she was different. She's a different kind of person, because traditional Hollywood didn't think she was pretty enough. They are so opinionated and they know what's going to work, but then they do this.
Yeah.
That just doesn't add up.
Yeah. I'm now stuck on the Winona Ryder thing. So
yeah, she's wonderful. She's a national treasure. She is delightful. I will say on that note, I did love the addition of Don Cheadle. I'm a little mixed on Cheech Marin. Not my favorite. But we've talked a few times, and it's definitely come up in reviews, that Golden Girls wasn't super diverse. So I'm glad they found that opportunity and added some diversity without making it seem like typecasting or making it seem like a forced fit.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's why they were expanding the universe, as they felt that was the only way to get in fresh faces.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I don't even necessarily mind the hotel thing. I guess they were thinking to their credit, one thing that B. Arthur said, and I think she's right, just watching the difference between season 7 and earlier seasons, that well was running dry.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they were concerned that they were just going to be digging through the dirt, but yeah, I mean, definitely underbaked. But I think the other thing with TV shows is you think about something like The Office. I'm pretty sure they thought that was going to bomb. And then it winds up being one of the biggest hits ever in television. There is a little bit of that magic piece that like it either takes or it doesn't.
That's why if I'm Winona Ryder and you tell me I'm not pretty enough to be on TV, I'm going to be like, what do you know? Most people aren't pretty enough to be on TV. I'm going to be
like, and how many men have you told that to today?
Don't you think they want to watch someone that kind of reminds them of them?
Right.
But also it's Winona Ryder. She's like so interesting.
Right.
Anyway, sorry. I've taken it back. But I do think there's a world, I agree with you about the hotel edition. I think there's a world in which they could make it the Golden Girls. They just bought a hotel.
And I mean, I can't remember who said it, but like you were sort of on this point too, which is this idea of like, oh, let's watch all these elderly women try and run a hotel.
It's going to be such a fun time.
Nice. Yeah.
But I think that is why they added Don Cheadle's character to kind of pull it all together. And they gave him sort of the Anthony treatment of sorts that they did on Designing Women. They gave him an opportunity to be almost like an equal partner. Almost. I say almost because Suzanne was always a little mean about that. And Julia sometimes forgot a little bit, I think. But they didn't fall into racial stereotypes with him. They didn't make his race a huge part of it. It's just the representation was important. So I really liked that. And I completely agree with you. I don't think it's a terrible show.
Well, my last general reaction is just that. So, I mean, I need you to confirm, but my guess was that the second part of this two-parter gives us something that every Golden Girl fan always wanted, which was to walk into Shady Pines.
Shady. You don't see it, but I'm wearing my Shady Pines shirt today.
Amazing.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's hot massage therapists. I mean, for someone, lobby harpists, on-demand sushi trays, circus night, roaming hunky men, hunky for then, and everyone's smiling. They're laughing and having a good old time. I mean, that was exciting. And I'm not even been around, I'm new on the block.
So what I wonder about this, and I wonder how it hit you. So that was one of the things that I wrote down as one of my likes was we finally got to see Shady Pines and that it was nowhere near as bad as Sophia had described it. So the summary at the beginning of our episode said that it had gotten so much better because remember, it burned down.
Right.
Sophia left because it burned down. Was it really ever that bad?
Oh,
no, was it ever really that bad? Or is Sophia like really dramatic to get her way?
I mean,
she sure stayed there until she couldn't stay there anymore.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I kind of thought that was what they were with, knowing that they're also like retro-conning things a little bit, like what she was trying to say in that last conversation with Dorothy, not to fast forward too much, but it's just like, I'm when I'm ready to slow down, I'll do this. And maybe it was really lovely, but she wasn't ready to slow down.
Right.
Then, you know? And we kind of talk about this idea that like she always acts tougher than she is. And maybe she just wanted to be around the rest of those ladies, even if she 100%. Said she didn't. Yeah.
100%. I mean, I think that's what you brought up, the straw purse. And when we talked about the straw purse in Sophia's episode, you said one of the things about it was that she said women of a certain generation carried these things because they want to carry all their lively goods or whatever and have them at hand. She put her purse down. Yeah. She knows her place now. It's with her girls. She doesn't need her purse anymore.
Right. She knows that she's truly accepted.
Did you have any more likes? General reactions?
Nope, just some stray observations. I really only have one left, but I'm sorry. I feel like because we haven't done these categories in a while, there were things I was like, this could go here. This could go here. This could go here.
I think we used to do that even before.
That's true. So back to the old days. So like my stray observation were Cheech Marin, Don Cheadle, but Jack Black is here.
That's my stray observation. All in caps. Jack Black showed up as the taxi driver. I don't remember that at all.
Right. Well, why? Yeah.
What a gift.
Why would you?
I think I've only seen Golden Palace maybe twice. Maybe.
Yeah. That's fair.
Not because it's bad.
Sophia's wicker purse.
Sophia's purse. That was my only stray observation. Jack Black.
Perfect. Look at us. And we put it in the same category. We're just doing the best that we can.
That's the best we can.
But now I'd like to talk about what we liked. I did kind of also take one of your likes. What else did you like about this two-parter?
The other thing I wanted to mention was the scene toward the end when Rose hit Dorothy. Dorothy, like she hits her and everybody is waiting to see how Dorothy is going to react to that. And how she reacts is says, "You hit me. Why did you hit me?" And I'll tell you, it reminds me of everything we've talked about and read about B. Arthur. That she's super tough on the outside, but super soft on the inside. And I really loved that they finally got out what I imagine the audience has been feeling this whole time, which is we all felt abandoned by Dorothy. Like, why did you leave us? And that's what comes out between their interaction. After they finally like hash it all out and get everything out on the table, the girls feel abandoned by her. She feels abandoned by them because she moved to Atlanta and they don't reach out and they don't come visit. But they're like, but there are 3 of us here and there's one of you there. And all the things you can imagine friends truly discussing in a situation like this. And I thought that was really satisfying for as a fan who watched that finale of Golden Girls and was like, what is happening right now? She's just going to leave us? It was a beautiful ending, and it was lovely how they all said goodbye, but it was super unsatisfying.
Totally. So this isn't my cheesecake moments, but I had the same reaction, which was like, now we're bringing it good. Let's bring it all out. Mm-hmm. And that's what that whole moment felt like to me. It felt like we were seeing this metamorphosis of the character of Rose into who, like, closer to who, like, Betty White is. Mm-hmm. She is strong. Mm-hmm. And so we're seeing some of that emerge. We're seeing that softness of Dorothy, B. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, absolutely. It is like all the things, because it wasn't just fans that felt that way, right?
Yeah.
We know from like things that have come out since, like that the other actors were like, why are you leaving this thing that we have,
that we've built and that we're continuing to build and that people love?
Right. So through the world of Golden Girls, it's almost like they're exploring their own feelings in real life. And because you went on without me. You got this hotel without me. You started this show without me.
What a credit to be Arthur that she was willing to come and play through all of that and let us watch that.
Yeah.
It was really kind of nice.
Yeah, it's really something. Are we okay with like now? Or was that like?
That was like.
Okay.
That and the Shady Pines exploration were my 2 likes. Okay. So if you have more likes, carry on.
Okay. All right. We'll run through these because nothing's more fun than just me spewing a bunch of words at you. That's also the definition of podcast, guys. So Dorothy saying out loud the content of Sophia's purse that, indicate it's her. We got bingo cards, brass knuckles, a pocket edition of 101 jokes for the John. I mean, it's everything that you could want.
That brought me so much joy because it's also a little, I don't know if meta is the right word here, but it's kind of like something people have wondered about.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
What the heck is in that purse?
Like just like Queen Elizabeth's.
Exactly. And every single one of those things she said, you're like, that tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah. Because she's many things. Sophia has many things.
I wish there had been a nectarine in there to tie us back.
Very nice. The runner that Rose has become the strong one. I really enjoyed that. She needed the space to evolve into that character. When you have a really just call them a strong personality around you, I think sometimes it doesn't allow things in you to emerge. Yeah. Right. Some of us may have lived through that in real life in one way or another. Right. Yeah. So, I thought the best part though of that whole runner was when Sophia finds out Rose really did hit Dorothy. And then she takes Rose's hand and says, "You should lead us now." So good.
That's very funny.
And then, when they're all at Shady Pines and Sophia briefly flirts with letting them take Dorothy to jail for trespassing if she doesn't verify that Dorothy is in fact her daughter. That was good.
She didn't want to be ripped from that lap of luxury. And who could blame her?
I know.
Wait, but on that note of the great things about it, I didn't write these down, but listening to Dorothy talk about what all the things were code for at Shady Pines. So like something was road work, like physical education. Oh, they're repaving the roads.
Or orange picking.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, all of those were really funny. Sophia tries to give Dorothy a candy dish inscribed with a note from Dorothy to her. And the best part is that was also her contribution to the hotel.
Yes, I was thinking about that.
Just her being like shisty, you know, that has really continued into the show, which is good. And then the episode stinger at Shady Pines is really my favorite, which is good because it kind of ends on a sad moment.
Yeah.
But Blanche sneaks in with glasses and a trench coat. I think that's sitcom code for trying to be sneaky, although someone in a trench coat is literally the least sneaky thing ever, no?
Especially these days.
Not sneaky. I think you're a flasher automatically.
Yes.
And I like a trench, but I'm like too scared to wear one.
I like a flasher.
Love a flat. I've encountered a few, and I have to tell you, Nikki, no, I did not love it at all.
Not enjoyable.
No, there was a really bad summer when I was 19. I don't know what was going on. It doesn't matter. It's a story for another time. That's another podcast. But we learn that she's there for a hot oil massage. Okay, and then only to be bested by Rose, who is wearing the same outfit. But of course, in typical Rose fashion, she's there for the circus. But it's like, it's done in the same manner as a hot oil massage. And it's just pitch perfect.
Are you ready for what we didn't like?
Maybe not. I don't know. I had some funny lines. Okay. I don't know if you, which were harder to get, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I was like
the subscript.
I couldn't find it. Yeah, I kept trying.
There.
It was, this one.
I think that's probably why my notes are so brief on this one.
This one killed me. Blanche says, "What's that geriatric shoe store she likes to hang out at?" And Dorothy says, "Oh, still kicking." I laughed for like 10 minutes about that. I made Casey come over. I was like, "What's this joke?" I was like, "It's very layered." Then not only the return of Dorothy, but the return of her interactions with Rose. It just gives really funny lines. So when they're looking for Sophia, Rose returns and announces she's not at Kittyland. Why would she be at Kittyland? Well, this is where Rose lets us know when she's upset, that's where she goes. And so Dorothy asks her sarcastically if she won any good prizes. And I just felt like we were right back. We were right back in the swing of things, you know?
Yep.
And then later on, she asks if anyone has checked the cemetery, and Rose goes, "Geez, Dorothy, it's only been a few hours. It takes longer than that just to dig a grave." Incoming newspaper smack. And then Dorothy comes in while Blanche is going to tell her right to her face, this and that. And Dorothy comes in and says, "Say what to my face?" And Blanche squeaks out, "I think you look good in jeans." Which I think is at one point how my friends try to tell me, "I think you look so good in jeans. You should wear those more." I was wondering, do you have on your list to talk about cheesecake moments at all?
I don't, but I'm open to them.
Okay. So I just felt like we were making up for lost time. I categorized my likes is what happened. I'm remembering real time what happened. So sorry about that. So you already had in your your moment of this kind of like meta thing happening was totally it's the best cheesecake moment of them all. It's the perfect one. And I just want to say that the reason I love that also is because not the meta piece, but in friendship, it's the truth revealed talk.
Yeah.
And I think every friendship worth its salt has at least one. Most likely you have more than one, but you have at least one. Because I think especially in female friendships, we kind of take and take and take and take. And there's this build and build and build and build. And every now and then you got to let out the steam.
You got to clear the air a little bit.
Absolutely. And that's how we start over again.
Yeah.
You know? And I just think that's like super important. A really just truly funny cheesecake moment was when Dorothy gets there, they have this big group hug and they're jumping up and down. Sophia bounces out and tells Don Cheadle, "I'm not really quite as into this as they are." And then she bounces right back in with them. And I just have to tell you that once again, I was like, It's me. I actually think I've literally done that before.
I really kind of hate hugging, and they just do it all the time.
What is happening? And I was going to try and think if there was anything else. I did really like the one with Dorothy and Sophia. We've already talked about that moment, but it's this moment where it's like this truth unveiled. And like Sophia is letting her know, this is where I am in my life. I appreciate that you're looking after me, but I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And I imagine that happens between parents and children at multiple ages. I think that happens one way and then in reverse, because there's care and love there. And where does that care and love go? It doesn't go anywhere.
And at a point, it gets so unbalanced. Who's really responsible here? Who's in charge? You know, like you're in your 20s and early 30s and your parents are calling you all the time and trying to make sure that you're taken care of. And you're like, I'm an adult. I'm good. And then you hit like your late 30s and 40s and they start not being good.
Right.
And then you're like, but what is my responsibility here?
And then you're like, where is the point where we could have just settled in for a little bit?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Couldn't we just cruise control for a little while? A life of uncomplication is my dream, Salina. Have I not mentioned that?
Right. I mean, you're making good points, you know? I had one more, that I thought was sweet. And this was like, and this is my last like, and then don't worry, Nikki. We'll get to the dislikes. You're just ready. She's cruising on ahead. Yeah, she's acting like we've been recording all day. I don't understand what the problem is. No, I think the very end, they've really finally, they've gotten through the hard part. They've made up. And Rose and Blanche give Dorothy the lifetime pass to the Golden Palace. Oh. I just wanted to share that. I really had to go back for that one. It entitles her to a stay in any room in the Golden Palace, to eat cheesecake, tell dirty jokes, and have 2 friends who will listen to her cry, complain, and laugh for the rest of her life.
That was really sweet.
I thought that was lovely. That also sounds nice. I was hoping maybe I would get that for Christmas.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to disappoint.
You did feed me cheesecake today.
I did. A brownie cheesecake.
And I got a Sophia candle. I'm living my best life.
It's all coming together
You're always
for you.
taking care of me. I'm fine. You're fine.
And now I have a Golden Girls soup bowl holder. What do you guys? A bowl cozy.
Yeah, you knew what it was earlier. I was like, yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
you immediately.
Yeah, you could have said a cactus, and I'd be like, yeah,
that's it.
There's Golden Girls on it. See,
sounds great.
All right. What did we not like about this one?
No. In general, like we said, it's fine. It's a fine show. It's not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It's not Golden Girls, but it's fun. Mm-hmm. That said, why did they bring back "Thank You for Being a Friend" in such a horrible way?
Oh, with a dude?
With a dude with a weird, like, early 90s remix?
Well, I think we know. You just said it.
Oh, because they switched networks. Yeah. But, like, just pick a different song.
Right.
It's a new show now at this point. We are no longer the Golden Girls.
I think that really lends itself to your argument. Are we doing something new? Are we doing something old? And it sounds like to me they couldn't make their minds up.
Yep.
And you can kind of I know so much about television. Okay?
I don't know. We're kind of becoming experts.
But like
we are certainly experts at watching.
You can feel the bean counters.
Yeah.
And the creatives tripping all over each other a little bit here.
I think that's probably
I know, because I've never been in the TV industry.
Because I've never done either of those things.
But I've listened to a lot of television podcasts, so listen to me. I like the payoff of the gals fighting, but I hate it when characters fight. Yeah. What I like, though, is that we wrapped it up. I don't know if you've ever, like, there's those seasons, and we experienced this back with Designing Women. Like, when Mary Jo and Julia were, like, having it out across episode after episode, I get real tired of that real fast.
Even Mary Jo and Charlene a couple of times. We were like, oh. It feels icky. Like, you have to deal with that in your own personal life. So why am I trying to watch it on TV?
Right.
In a comedy.
I'm also going to say, I kind of hate that we missed time with Sophia because she ran away. I got it.
Yes.
But, like, there was this big chunk, and it felt like where she's gone, and it feels like a missed opportunity.
I can't get over, and I think I'd have to rewatch more Golden Palace episodes. Something that I just don't know that I'll ever watch Golden Girls the same way and not think of is how much trouble Estelle had with stage fright and how much trouble she had with remembering her lines. I'm reasonably certain I started catching the moments where she was reading cue cards in Golden Girls. And I am so curious, again, and going back to my overall question of like, why did they make this show? If it was so hard for her, why did she keep going? And was that maybe a side effect of all of that? They had to, it was a 2-part episode. There was a lot going on. Did they sort of have to pull her out a little bit? And I don't remember how much that happened in Golden Palace, but it seems to me that would be a technique. If I'm a writer or a director, that's a technique I would use to give fans that, but also not continue to put the show in danger.
It's so... I think that is a weight that has carried around in all of these episodes. Mm-hmm. We're so far from the time when the show happened. It's so much more out there and available, just what was happening to her, you know, or even, again, like going back to those, once we get to the intimate portraits, and we have to have her doctor on there. Yeah. I mean, that, it's hard to not have that, like, kind of just right here around you while you're having these conversations, and that it could very well likely be it. And I mean, I think I hope that it was more that people were like, we love Estelle, we want her involved. She wanted to be involved, because I truly do believe that she wanted to be involved, you know. And I think, like, she is a lovely person, but she wanted to be famous. You know, I think they've made that crystal clear too. So I think once you're out there and you have that adoration, it would be hard to walk away from that. I don't care who you are. You know, every human, if they could do it and not have that fear of backlash, wants to be applauded for. It's human nature. You want that feedback, you know. So I think that was probably happening on some level. Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the music for just 1 second, because
Yes.
the transition music between scenes was also super 90s.
Oh.
And I harp on theme music a lot, but it dated the show in a way that Golden Girls has never felt dated to me.
Okay. Yeah.
Golden Girls, they don't have cell phones. They don't have computers. I never really think about that when I'm watching the show.
Oh, funny. Okay.
When we watched Designing Women, it was a lot more obvious, probably because they were in like a work environment. So they would do things like get Charlene her new computer, or get her a typewriter,
Get
or whatever.
out the Rolodex.
Exactly. Yeah. But it never really comes up in Golden Girls for me. And so watching this, I was like, whew, man, this feels like an empty nest world. I remember the kind of like early 90s, late 80s music. It feels very...
This and Golden Girls and Gilmore Girls, I feel like their little like stitching sounds were always really good. And and I don't know if it's just, because it just never felt like an elevator.
Yeah,
situation.
Exactly. And that's what this feels like to me. They came in from sometimes they would do the thank you for being a friend instrumental, which they did in Golden Girls, that it felt nice, but it's very elevatory, but it wasn't offensive. But other times they did that boom, 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 like the Seinfeld thing, you know, and that feels of a certain time that I didn't feel with Golden Girls.
Right. That's fair. Interesting.
But both of my dislikes were really about the music. So that's not so bad. That could have been fixable if anybody had asked my opinion. Little 7-year-old Nikki.
I have 2 more. The subplot for Chewie and his new wife. That just felt for naught.
So random.
But subplots are often random, but also because, like, I don't really know his character yet. It just felt even more, like, out of left field.
Yeah.
And then, so this isn't a dislike. It's more of like that was bittersweet. And I mentioned this just a hair ago, but like right at the end, everybody runs off to do everything that they have to do around the hotel. We see Dorothy glance around at everyone. There is so much emotion on her face. Like maybe she wants to say one more thing, and then she just walks out. That's why I was like, oh my God, I'm glad we had that button. Because that
Yeah.
would have been the saddest way to end a sitcom ever, except
Yeah.
for maybe just someone just dying right there at the very end and then ending.
Yeah.
So that was mine. Is
It was probably B. Arthur a little bit also thinking like, did I make a mistake? Should I be here with them?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to say again what I've said across the last several episodes. Listen to the Jim Colucci stuff. And I don't
Who's Jim
know.
Colucci?
I sincerely do not know if she enjoyed this time or not.
You mean the Golden Palace time or Golden Girls?
Golden Girls.
Oh.
So, but I also wonder, like, sometimes, like, do we create a narrative in our head and then we just run with it, you know? And I just, like, that emotion that we saw in the finale of Golden Girls, that wasn't fake.
So, Salina, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Us curmudgeons.
They act.
Us curmudgeons are a little hard to read sometimes. I think some people might listen to this podcast and think we hate doing this because we talk a lot about how hard it is. We talk a lot about how much work we put into it. We talk a lot about how much
we did that more off air.
We've done a fair amount of it in our time here, but that's what curmudgeons do. Like, we are just really fact-based. And in my mind, you can love an experience and also hate the inconvenience of it. And that's the common thread of my life. So I think that, one, it could be a narrative that's been kind of spun out over time. There was another narrative earlier this season we talked about where I was like, I don't know if that's, B. Arthur hitting Betty White on the head with a newspaper. Like, I don't know that's that serious.
Right.
So that's something that I think could get away from us. Or also B. Arthur's just like, she doesn't want anybody to know she ever loved anything. Because if they knew she loved it, they'd take it from her.
Oh my God, I think that's true. I mean, let me tell you something, and let me tell everyone something. I don't care what the year was. It's not easy being born on May 13th.
Fair enough.
At least she got to be tall.
Fair enough.
She hated it, though. So there you go. All right.
She's a curmudgeon. She hated everything.
Do you want to do something that we haven't done in a really long time? No.
Maybe.
Did you not just hear me say I'm a curmudgeon? Do you want to rate this sucker?
I do. The hardest part for me is going to be streamlining my rating scales. As you know, I have several options.
Oh, my. Okay. Well, pick one.
I'm going to go with Elderly Purse Essentials.
Okay.
So that's in honor of Sophia's iconic bottomless wicker bag.
I love that.
She also had bingo cards in there. I can't remember if you mentioned that.
I think that your rating scale might be, I did. And I think your rating scale should be iconic bottomless wicker bags.
Wicker bags. Okay.
Yeah.
Iconic bottomless wicker bag is my rating scale.
Thanks for being open to that.
Yeah, I'm open to feedback, especially this late in the day.
Well, you wrote it. So it's still yours.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. I've well established I can't get past this not being the Golden Girls. Mm-hmm. It's pretty hard for me to get overly excited about continuing a storyline that ended and then doing it as a tripod, missing one of its legs.
Yeah.
However, I think that this was a nice little reminder of the Golden Girls. I think it reminded us of all the things we loved about Golden Girls, what they meant to each other. The humor was spot on with this episode. Like you said, we never really understood Shady Pines. Through 7 seasons of hearing about how terrible it was, we never really understood it. And we finally got to see it in action, whether it was the Shady Pines that actually existed or a whole new revamped version.
Right.
We may never know. But I really did appreciate that. So I can't give it a 5 out of 5 because it's just, I'm not going to watch it all the time. It's not going to be, I will watch Golden Girls if I want that fix. But I do think that this was a really beautiful nod to the fans. It was a great way to bridge those 2 series. And it was a great way to air out what I imagine a lot of fans were thinking, which is like, B. Arthur, why'd you leave us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. When we received our suggestion to do this one, what came along with it was, and then you will know why B. Arthur was so sorely missed. Yeah. Because she was, it's like Brandon when he joined us to talk about designing women. There were 4 legs on a table, and these were 4 legs on a table, and without it, that sturdiness is gone. I'm going to give you the shortest rating I've ever done before.
Okay.
So I did, because I don't have the history that you have. 5 out of 5 lifetime passes to the Golden Palace. That's mine. The gals are back together. They still got it. So that's reason enough for me. You like that?
Perfect.
Historic Salina is dead. This is new Salina. References we need to talk about. Here's the thing, Nikki. I had one. I'm not even going to say it. I looked it up. I feel dumb about it, but I have a second one.
Okay.
So we're going to skip past the first one. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It does not matter. The second one does matter to me. This isn't a reference necessarily in the show. I just got curious. Don Cheadle is a big star. And he's a very talented actor. And I just needed to know, has this man said anything about his time on the show?
Oh, good point.
Because I had no idea he was on this show.
Oh.
Okay. So he, I think most of these comments came, first of all, courtesy of AI, but also, thank you for your swift overview over Lords. Many blessings to you. May my time on this earth be long and prosperous under your reign. But in addition,
you are the safest, just so you know, of the people I know. When they take over and when they rule us, you will be the safest because you are the most polite to the computers and the AIs of the world.
I am very nice to Alexa. She's helping. Oh,
got one in here.
Why did I say a name? I'm not very nice to Siri.
Oh,
because we have a coworker whose name is very close to
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and I call on her a lot. So if it takes over, I will be the first one on the death squad. On the other end of the death squad. Anyways, so I think a lot of these comments that we do get when you look very briefly into what Don Cheadle
when you Google
has said,
what did John Cheadle say about the time of Golden Palace.
Yes, this came out after Betty White passed. So he talks about fondly remembering his time on Golden Palace, and especially Betty White. He called her the best of the best and the goldenest of them all, which was really sweet. And then he shared some anecdotes about her generosity, including that without even ever being asked, she actually had them adjust her makeup for filming because,
I've read this.
Yeah. So apparently to help because there was such a big contrast between the two of them. And she just did that one day when he had come in. And so he said he would always remember that. And then he also, and I wanted to mention this too, this is not about anyone specific, but just about what that show did, even in its short time. We'll drop in the video so you can see. It seems like this happened, like different conversations across an episode, but they've turned it into a clip. And I think Anthony Mackie mentioned this in an interview about Don Cheadle's performance and this episode where they talk about the Confederate flag.
Oh.
It has to do with Blanche and he having a conversation around the Confederate flag and what that could or could not symbolize for different folks and different strokes. And it's a very honest, open conversation that happens in this episode. It was pretty powerful stuff. And it's Don Cheadle on the other side of it. And Rue McClanahan's whatever, she knows what she's doing. So it was, I don't know, I thought it was some pretty moving scenes. We'll drop that in. So that was my reference for this one because we're not going to get to that episode, but I'm thinking about you and me and the different things that we've covered across our series. I know that's something that really means something to us, especially on our previous Southern lens. And I think we'd be remiss not to have that somewhere in the mix.
I wanted to mention one more reference that is broader than this one episode, but it is still relevant to the Golden Palace and the Golden Girls. So episode 5 of the Golden Palace is called Ebb Tide for the Defense. You specifically pointed out in a note somewhere that we just had a lot of Ebb Tide titled episodes of the Golden Girls, at least 3. So I was curious about it. So I did a super mini deep dive, and I found an entry on a web board somewhere with Mark Sotkin, who's a writer and a writer on Golden Girls. He was answering questions about his time on Golden Girls, and he said, I did 4 years of It's a Living before Golden Girls and always titled shows that I write as The Blank Show. The blank is whatever the episode is about. So the Amy and Louie show is the episode where Amy dates Louie. Easy to remember. When I went on Golden Girls, the first episode I wrote was where Rose got a new job as a consumer reporter. I titled it The Rose's New Job Show. I was told I couldn't do that on Golden Girls, that it would show a lack of caring. So in protest, I started writing episodes with titles like Ebb Tide, Ebb Tide's Revenge, Ebb Tide, The Fourth, The Wrath of Stan, etc. The titles meant nothing, but for some reason, executives felt they showed more caring. But as a result, when someone asks me about an episode like 72 Hours, I have no idea what the show was about. So if you ask me about the one where Rose does whatever, I'm happy to fill in the blanks.
Oh, funny.
So
if you were in public health, 72 hours would stick with you more.
Yeah, that may be true. All right, are we done?
Golden.
We are so golden.
So golden.
So golden. But we're going to come back in early January with our special episode all about the 1987 rom-com Mannequin. Just sing the song.
I don't, am I allowed to? That's why I spoke it.
Key, it's okay.
Off key. Well, you don't have to worry. That's easy. And we can build this dream together. Standing strong forever.
We'd love everyone to follow along with us and engage.
Now.
Oh, you were going to be the background music. We'd love everyone to follow along with us and engage. We're on Instagram and Facebook at Sweet Tea and TV. We're on TikTok at Sweet Tea TV Pod. You can find us on YouTube at Sweet Tea TV 7371. Our email address is sweetteatvpod@gmail.com, and our website is www.sweetteatv.com. There are several ways to support the show. Please tell your family and friends about us, rate or review wherever you listen to the podcast, and you can find additional ways to support the show from the Support Us tab. And come back in January for Mannequin and also a special announcement about our next season. You know what that means, Salina?
That everyone's going to hate me for doing that. And hey, Nikki, thank you for being a friend.
That one felt random to me.
I would still buy you a treat. Well, so I'm a pushover.
Everybody heard that. She's buying me a treat.
I will, totally.
Didn't you say a coffee and a treat?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
You said both. You said both.
You
heard
lost.
You say both. I wouldn't say I lost. I wouldn't say I lost. I would say I got 75% of the way there, which is more than 50%.
That's true. You got something in your nose?
Just scratching my nose.
Okay. All right. The role of Sophia would score her. Yes, I'll get you both.
Thank you.
The role of Sophia was, but you got to stay around long enough to get it. You know?
That's the trick, isn't it?
It is the trick. So that's where I got ya.
We finished. I'm making smoke trails back up.
I know. Casey today, he was like, y'all going down to Chomp and Stomp, which is a chili festival. I was like, niggas not staying around here.
He knows it gets dark now.
I was like,
early.
It doesn't matter if it gets light all the time.
It gets dark now. Right?
We could be in the 6 months of Alaskan sunlight.
The astigmatism. I can't see after
We're
dark.
going home.
I just like to be home. It's my happy place.
One more thing to say, and then I'm going to move on.
Let's do it.
For some reason, I wound up listening back to our Sweet Tea After Dark.
Oh.
And there's a say, welcome everybody to Sweet Tea After Dark. And you go, I don't see well after dark.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm fine. I know. I'm giving you your flowers for darkness, I guess, and bad eyesight. You've established credibility, is what I'm saying.
The credibility in my incredibility after dark.
So
you know the drill. DM us, email us, or contact us from the.
If you edit this, please save that for some outtakes. We don't leave out the tape on Thursdays. You know what I'm saying?
We keep it running. Okay.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Salina.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to Sweet Tea and TV. This episode...
Sorry.
Dang it, Nikki.
How do your headphones sound?
They sound great. like riding an old rusty bike. While someone kicks the gears out from you.
An old rusty bike.
Oh, okay. I was like, if that's audio, we've got problems. Okay, killer.
All right, so it's all over. Perfect. Start over here.
Okay. I'm ready. Let me just start talking like this. Let's go.
Yeah, can you do your Eminem sound check? Knees weak, arms are heavy. Vomit on my sweater. I'm ready. Mom spaghetti. Can you do that real quick?
That's the best I got.
You can't do that.
That
okay?
how an Eminem mic check goes? He just goes straight into the lyrics.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or
that sounds right.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. That's pretty standard.
I'm more of a bing, 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 bing kind of person,
Okay.
you know.
Just jump right in.
I've got one random thought that I'm hoping will kind of like boost it up a little.
Bring it up a
bit.
little bit. Good, because I'm
Little
about to start
mood
crying.
Booster, yes. So Alvin mentions a tangerine during the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Do we think, and this is before, do we think that the writers use a tangerine in the days and nights of Sophia Petrillo that next season as a nod to him?
It's funny you say that because I had a similar thought and then I thought it was a nectarine.
You're right. I was waiting for you to be like, actually, Salina, it was a clementine.
It was a cutie. It was a cutie. I had the same thought and then I was like,
yes, you're absolutely correct. That's
nectarine,
right.
tangerine,
I
clementine.
get all my little citruses confused.
Little citruses are very confusing. They're confusingly named.
Well, okay, let's do a twist on that.
Citrus.
Maybe that's what they should have done.
They should. Yeah, you know what, writers? Yes.
Go
Yes.
back. Just do it again.
But I think they were inspired to do, what is it, vitamin C you get from the anti-scurvy ones.
Yeah.
They went that direction.
That makes perfect sense. I'm sure of it.